Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Proving Grounds Arena. My name's Bloomer, and with me, my co-caster, her first time here with us today is Kate. Welcome in, Kate.
Hey, thanks. I'm so happy to be here.
I'm happy to have you here. Guys, today we have an incredible match, potentially the highest stakes match we've actually had the pleasure of broadcasting here in the Proving Grounds Arena, Kate, and that is going to be between Reformed ISE and Bunny Disaster. They're actually, tonight, they're going for the championships for the Overwatch Infrasight Arena. So pretty high stakes. As a matter of fact, you'd say the stakes couldn't be any higher. Whoever wins tonight, they take home the glory. They take home the gold. So both teams are going to be laying it all out on the line. We don't have a ton of information about either of these teams. First time for both of them to be appearing on our broadcast. So to quote one of my other co-casters, we're very excited to have them here. We're looking forward to a huge match tonight, and of course they're going to be starting on Nepal, a control map. So Kate, we don't know much about the teams. That being said, do you have any thoughts, any opinions on where this is going to go or what we're going to be seeing tonight?
I don't know. Honestly, it's a big mystery to me. The league is in its first year, so I think it's going to be super great to see what comes out of these games. Sure.
Absolutely. Now, running up into this, just to give a little backstory for everybody who's watching, and maybe you have heard of the league, maybe you haven't. Guys, what happened is during the regular season, they narrowed it down to the 8 top teams. Of those 8 top teams, they've had a single elimination tournament. So it was a ruthless. You mess up one map, and that could be the end of your season in this particular league. But these 2 teams have managed to rise above it all, have gone all the way now to the, like I said, the final 2. And if I remember correctly, Reformed has yet to actually lose a map so far in the
That
in
is
the playoffs.
correct.
Yeah,
That is super impressive. I'm excited to see how this pans out for sure.
Yeah. Now, that's not to discredit Bunny Disaster by any means. They've only lost one map as well. I believe that was to Seabasses, who we have seen here in the past. And that's they won that match still 3-1. So still a very strong victory in their favor.
Definitely. I am super excited.
And I think that's the real, it's kind of the joke of it all, but isn't that the truth of all this? It is exciting to see this happen. It's exciting to see what these teams are going to be providing for us. And I know that they're getting ready right this moment. We're just getting a word from the back actually right now that they're just about ready. So I'm not sure how much longer they're going to want me talking before they tell me to move off the screen. But, I've always been a huge fan personally of talking and taking up as much screen time as possible. So I'm just going to try and ignore that, keep this sentence going so I can talk about my tie a little longer. All right. And it looks like, though, they said that's enough of you, Bloomer. And they're moving on. They're bringing us to Nepal. Now, for those of you at home that are newer to the Overwatch game, we're going to talk a little bit about what this is. Nepal is called a control map. So what that means is that both teams are going to be fighting for control over this center area. 1 point. What both teams need to do is try and capture it by occupying the space, pushing the enemy team off of the space, taking control, and then they want to watch the percentage tick. You can see up in the top middle of the screen that percentage. They want to see that 0, make it all the way up to 100. That's the goal. A big thank you. I saw a big raid coming in as well. Thank you so much for that. And again, we can see now as the teams begin to assemble their heroes. Both teams going to be attacking here at the same time, as mentioned. They want to get that 100% before the enemy team does. In a control match rule, what they're going to be doing here is they actually need to do a best of 3 individually. So they need to take over not just this control point, but one other map in order to get the match point. And with the countdown beginning,
here we go,
Kate. Truer words never spoken. You can see here over in the blue, guys, we're going to be having Team Reformed ISE. And in the red, we've got Bunny Disaster. You can see Team Reformed running a triple tank, triple support with a Winston Diva Zarya. Over on Bunny, we've got something a little bit different. We got a Reinhardt, we got a Hanzo on there, and you can see the engagement has begun. A lot of fighting going back and forth, but the early pick is going from Frosty, and Frosty actually takes out take out both the Lucio and the Reinhardt. That is going to be going all in the direction of Team Reformed ISE, and yeah, you can see they hit the cap, and it's Bunny Disaster having to back out and just trying their best to regroup and come up with something new.
Yeah, that was definitely a big deal to get those picks so early on.
And that's the problem, of course, we both know this. If you step even just an extra foot or two, little overextension, that can be it. That can cost you the match that quickly, that easily, or at least the team fight, as it did in that particular situation. And you can see they're trying to group back up. They are trying to get the full 6 together so that they're coming in as a coercive unit. They want to make sure that they know they already have the ult disadvantage coming into this particular fight. They don't want to feed any more into Team Reformed. And there you can see the engagement has begun.
It looks like they have a Mercy who's swapped in from Ana. So that is interesting to see. Let's see how that plays out with a Pharah.
And you can see D.Va been taken out of mech, and Trash Rodent does manage to get the pick on the Reaper, as well as Kaibit taking out Lucio and D.Va. Very nicely done again for Reform. Team Reform is looking very dominant right now, and we can see already the ult economy swinging more and more in their favor. They have 4 ults already ready to go, and that Lucio sound barrier is coming up very soon as well. You can see once again they are grouping up. They're trying to again get that coordinated 6-man attack. You want to make sure you're not getting staggered. You want to make sure that you're getting the maximum efficiency out of your entire team. And there they are from the high ground again. You can see the Winston D.Va diving in. D.Va instantly taken out of mech, and there we can see the D.Va bomb though. The Zarya grab comes out. All sorts of ults coming out, but that Lucio sound barrier keeping everyone alive. He says a little bit too early. As you can see, the picks once again going in the direction of Reformed. It has been all Reformed. Sure, Mercy manages to get the res off, but that's probably going to be too little too late. And with that many people on the point, you can't see Bunny Disaster coming back from this one.
No, you can't. And it looks like we already got some more ults charged up.
Yeah, absolutely. There goes the D.Va bomb, an attempt, and does manage to take out the Lucio. Is that going to be enough to flip it around, though? It's hard to say. You can see right now, now the ult's coming out from Reform. That Winston raging, angry, knocking people around. Another Mercy res, but does get knocked away again by the Winston. It looks like Phantom is doing a phenomenal job here, an absolute great job of cleaning things up. And with the picks, again, going all in the direction of Reformed. That is a 100% to 0 cap. And with round 1 complete, that was looking just absolutely fantastic and looking very dominant for Team Reformed. And Bunny Disaster is going to have to come up with something new if they want to have a chance coming back into this second round.
I definitely agree. They, had their ults going. I feel like it was just hit after hit. The timing, just the rhythm of everything was just so much in their favor.
Yeah, and Bunny Disaster was doing a great job of grouping up, making sure they were committing to the team fight together, the full 6. But at the end of the day, maybe just a little bit too aggressive, and Reformed was able to absolutely destroy them, pick them apart piece by piece. And they were never able to really get a very strong attack beyond that.
Yeah, and it looks like we have a couple of swaps here again on Bunny. We have Moira this time. It looks like we have a 3 heal going on here.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so great to see some of these characters that maybe have been considered off meta for a while, making their reemergence into Overwatch. Characters like Moira that maybe weren't getting the respect that they deserved at the higher tier of play, but now they are. And you can see very quickly that the Reform team managed to get control of that point and starting to get that tick percentage in their favor. Bunny Disaster really didn't want to contest too much there right away. And there we go, though. You can see, again, lots of picks. Kuna on the McCree getting a few. Lucio as well from Tid manages to get 2 picks on his own, and they are doing everything they can to stagger that poor mini D.Va. Oh, this is almost cruel at this point, Kate. Oh, no, just as she gets back into her mech, taken out
Almost.
instantly. And that's about as big of a stagger as you can ask for. I gotta tell you,
it looks like
Reformed,
they're pushing back to their spawn point. And
they are
going to put a lot of pressure on.
absolutely. Reform doing a really great job understanding to hold that choke. Doesn't necessarily need to hold the point. Make Bunny Disaster fight for every square inch of the map, and you can see Frosty taking out L-Dog with that Junkrat Rip Tire. Very, very out of position there, the Zen, and gets punished for it. And
yeah,
you can
definitely.
See now,
it was interesting to see like where was that thing going?
Yeah, a little bit separate from the rest of the team, and now you can see Frosty just spamming that damage in over from the right side and is causing all sorts of issues. I don't think Bunny Disaster is going to be able to get through this choke right yet. Although there comes out with the Moira ult, and that Zarya is very charged as well. This might be enough. You can see Reformed is being pushed back. They're back on the point now. They're trying to bunker down the best they can behind that Orisa shield, doing everything they can. And there comes the Zen ult as well, coming out for Bunny Disaster to try and help bully onto the point. But you can see the picks are all in Reform's favor. That was 3 picks, and I don't know if they're going to be able to hold on for very much longer here as the overtime begins. And there comes the Riptire from Frosty one more time. Doesn't connect with anyone, but keeps them off the point. And you can see Reformed very dominant in their first match. Very, very dominant. We're going to take a moment to watch the play of the game really quickly. And it's Tid as Lucio. You got to love seeing a good Lucio play the game.
Yes, I love that great beat.
And there you can see it's the boop, the old boop meta that Lucio. Oh, and a second one as well. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. So, Kate, we saw. I'm just gonna say it. It was a dominant performance. It was absolutely it was one-sided. There's no real way to avoid that fact, Kate.
Yeah. Just a little bit there.
So let's talk about that. Do you think that may have been a little bit of jitters from Bunny Disaster, or do you think are we going to see just an all-out blowout tonight?
I'm not sure. I think it'd be a combination between jitters and just trying to figure out a synergy because they had a few swaps in there. So maybe they're just trying to figure out, what's working for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And you called it. You said we're seeing a lot of swapping in and out there. They're trying to figure out how is it that we're going to be able to take on Reformed here. We don't want to necessarily play their game, but we want to beat them at it. So they're trying to figure out a way that they can get the advantage swung in their favor. Of course, the problem with that is when you're swapping heroes midway, 3/4 of the way through the match, you are going to be losing some ult economy along the way, typically. So if that happens, it really does become a great trade-off. Should I be swapping right now? Is it worth it? Usually the answer is yes, but sometimes it might not be. Now, in that case, I think they were justified. I think it was the right decision to be making these swaps. They just maybe need to come out with them a little bit quicker and maybe just tighten up the formation. They really can't afford to be getting those early picks on themselves because at the end of the day, at this level of Overwatch, if you're going into a 6v5 as the 5, you're very seldomly ever going to come out on top. And, we're having some technical difficulties I'm hearing from the back as well. But that's all right. Chat, I want to hear from you right now. What do you think is going to happen here? We've got Reformed ISE in the blue. We've got Bunny Disaster over in the red. What do you guys think is going to happen? This is, once again, a best of 5. So what that means, it's the first team to get 3 match points is going to be crowned the winner. Matter of fact, I'll go over some of the match rules very quickly with you guys while I have this opportunity. First to 3 wins, as already mentioned, is a standard rotation. Starts in a control map, then it moves to escort, hybrid, assault, until we end up getting 3 wins for either team. From there, we can say the losing team of each particular map is the one that is going to get to choose the next map. So, in this case, we're going to be seeing that it's Team Bunny. Yes, Team Bunny Disaster, and it sounds like I'm getting that they're going to be choosing Hanamura. Hanamura is their assault map choice. So hopefully they'll have an opportunity to showcase a little more of what they can do on this particular round. I definitely want to see some good Overwatch today, and I know you guys do at home as well. I'm excited. You should be too. We're getting ready at the moment for that. I guess we should also take an opportunity to take just a moment, talk about what it is that got these teams to where they are today. So we've already mentioned, guys, that what this is it's the oh gosh, let me get the right title here. The Overwatch Infrasight Arena. The Overwatch Infrasight Arena. So Team Reformed had to beat Team Talonfire 3-0, and then again Undaunted United 3-0 as well, in order to get themselves into this top seeded position. Being the top seed, they were able to choose that first map as well. Over on Bunny Disaster, they had to play against Albany first. However, they ended up winning by a forfeit, believe it or not. And after the forfeit, which guarantees a 3-0 victory for them, they again play against Seabasses and won 3-1. So both teams are strong teams, Kate. Again, we've seen both Undaunted United as well as Seabasses on this broadcast in the past. We know they're good teams. We know that they can rise to the challenge. And these teams beat those guys.
Yeah,
so that tells you something good.
I think, honestly, despite how the first round went, you just never know what's going to happen in these games, right? I think with the talent that's here, you just never know, right?
Well, and I can't tell you how often in my own personal experiences in a match, whether it's a competitive quick play, whatever this case may be, that your team gets a little too cocky. You start to maybe treat the other team like, oh, we don't really have to worry. And all of a sudden they win a map and it's going all of a sudden a little back and forth. And maybe the momentum swings in their favor. We've all been there. However, I am getting word that it sounds right now like the chat, the viewers are currently they're calling for Reform to maybe win this one out.
Well, we'll see what happens. I think it's on your point to being, super cocky and way too overconfident. You always have to watch out for that because it can really come up and bite you if you're not careful, if your team doesn't stay focused and really, stick with the plan.
Well, 100%. 100%. And again, when you're talking about teams that are at about a relatively similar skill rating or SR, what'll happen so often is it's not necessarily mechanical skill that will win a match out, but rather it's exactly what we're talking about, and that's the confidence, the overconfidence, and sometimes just that drive to prove yourself and say, hey, you know what? We're the underdogs right now. We've got nothing to lose. Let's just go full out. Let's do what we came here to do. Let's have some fun. And that attitude can actually end up winning you matches.
I totally agree. I think other than, raw skill in this game, I also believe that Overwatch is a super mental game as well.
It is indeed. It absolutely is. Hugely mental, hugely mechanical skill as well, of course, and just understanding not just your character, but all the different other characters as well, and how they relate, how you're going to do in the 1v1 fights, how you're going to do in the 2v1s, and when to get in and when to get out. Now, I am getting word that we're about ready to go in, so let me just take 2 seconds really quickly to talk about your opportunity. You, the person at home listening to my voice right now, to get involved in this and what Kate and I are doing here, and not necessarily just what we're doing, but what these great teams are doing as well. We would love to have you, whether you are a player of Overwatch, whether you're currently on a team, whether you're a manager, a coach. Hey, any way that you're involved, we'd love to get you involved in this as well. Hopefully we've got a mod in the chat that's able to go ahead and spam the Wasted Potential Discord for you. Join in, get involved, have fun, reach out to a gentleman named Warp if you are, whether it's looking for a team, whether you want to try out for a team, whether you want to get your team showcased. We'd love to have you, and we can get you on the big screen as well. That being said, I'm hearing that, yes, we are ready. They said, Bloomer, please stop talking so much. So we're going to swap back to the game. We're going to be joining in to Hanamura, again, an assault map for those of you at home. And here we go as the teams begin. Now, assault, a little bit different than the control we saw in the last round, Kate.
Yeah, for sure. I'm really excited to see how this map type change may make a difference for especially Bunny.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm gonna hope that Bunny is gonna come out really, really strong on this particular one. Now, they did choose this. So they got the option to choose which assault map they would like to play on. They chose Hanamura, so that must mean they're confident on it. I'm looking forward to see what strategies they're going to be bringing out. Assault, the concept, you're going to be leaving the spawn, the attacking spawn. You're going to be pushing through the choke. Then you're going to be trying to take over Assault Point A, which is in this fancy looking building right here. Just a really great map, side note. Assuming
one of my favorites, honestly, just visuals and everything. I love the layout of it.
And I love the lore behind it too. That being said, assuming they do manage to take over that first point, they need to push the defending team off and take it over. Assuming the attacking team does do that, they then move on to point B over here and do the exact same thing. The difference on point B is all of a sudden that spawn advantage that the attackers have on point A is gone. It's gone. And all of a sudden it goes to the spawn advantage goes to the defending. They're going to be then pushing in, doing their best. Now you can see it looks like it is once again going to be Team Reformed ISE in the blue on defense first. We got Bunny Disaster in the red. They're going to be attacking. And it looks like they're setting up on that high ground in a bunker composition. They've got the Bastion hanging out behind that Orisa shield. They also have a Torbjorn team turret here and a Baptiste for that immortality field, throwing that lamp out whenever they're in any sort of trouble. You can see very early Bunny Disaster just moving in, taking that high ground, and they had to go ahead, rotate onto the point now, Reformed, and they're going to be holding behind that large bell. So far, a lot of poking. You can see the Orisa using that pull to try and group up the team, and Hog trying to get a hook, doesn't manage to get, but dude does throw some splash damage and takes out the Genji. And that is going to be a great opportunity now for Kuda on the Bastion to take out the Diva. L-Dog manages to take out that Torbjorn turret, but that's going to be probably a little too late unless that attacking spawn is close enough that they can get in very, very fast. But it's nope, that's going to be it. That's all cleanup at this point, and Reformed very, very strong first hold.
Yeah, that was that went quicker than I thought. I wasn't sure how that was going to go, if someone was going to get baited out or what, but it looks like they went in pretty confidently there.
Well, you know, a very smart rotation, truthfully, from Reform. They're taking that high ground. This is their preferred place to stay. They want to get an opportunity to poke at that choke, try and get some damage, build up their ultimate charge, and at the same time, repel if they can get that early pick. Repel the attack, keep making them waste more and more time. Oh, and there you can see, once again, hooked into Kuna's damage, and that is a very, very quick pick on Mata Mata, the Zarya, for Team Bunny Disaster. They're pulling back out. They're going to regroup. Mata making that swap over to Reinhardt now. They want to have a shield tank to be able to get in, push by that point, push by that choke. But again, it was a smart rotation is what I was trying to say, where they managed to drop back to the point, make sure that we're not going to give Bunny an opportunity to give a like kind of a even ground. They can push on to the point, then we have to push on. No, they understood as a bunker comp, we need to control the space before the attack gets there. And all in all, just a really high IQ play by Reformed. And you can see they're trying to push very quickly, but again, that hook managing to take Mata on the Zarya taken out. It's Beck now that swapped over to the Reinhardt. And you can see a few of them managed to get up, but all this is really going to do is stagger the team. I don't know if they want to back out at this point. You probably don't want to commit to the fight, Kate.
Yeah, at this point, I would say no. Just kind of get everything back together again. Don't let anyone trickle in.
Yeah. Now you can see the problem is, Hog with another hook, but this time it was on the Genji who managed to reflect, push that Roadhog away. But you can see Hog, such a significant threat, held the two of them back at that choke. However, did give Team Bunny an opportunity to push in onto the side of the point. But again, Kuna with all that damage, that Bastion DPS, so much, and hiding in that bunker composition. Oh, another pick. That Hog just getting hook after hook after hook. There come the dragons out. They managed to take out Tid. managed to take out Tid on the Mercy. That could be a big pick, but I don't know if it's going to be enough at this time to win them the team fight.
No, I will say that was definitely a really big push, and it's kind of up in the air there.
Yeah, and with only 3 seconds left, I don't think they're going to manage to get back onto the point. You can see, oh, that was painful. Trash Rodent on that hog, hitting so many hooks, so effective that they just managed to full hold on A. No ticks taken, no progress on the point. All Reform needs to do now on the attack is get 1 tick on A, 1/3 of the way captured on A, and they're going to go ahead and take this match as well, putting it to 2-0 for the day. We can see once again the teams getting ready to assemble their heroes. They're going to have to think of something different here, Bunny Disaster, if they want to have any opportunity whatsoever of holding this. This is a very, very difficult hold in the best of times. And right now, I hate to say it, but Reformed is just firing on all cylinders. They are doing just an absolutely stellar job of just dominating the team play here. And the team
I definitely agree. Just the way that they play together is paying off for sure.
Now you can see Reformed getting ready again to attack. They're going to be starting, it looks like, with a Sombra. Sombra really fantastic for going out, scouting, getting a little bit of early information. From there, they're also going to be looking to run something a little heavier on the dive. You've got a Hammond, we've got Mercy, we've got Far Up in the air. You also have that Widowmaker, Kuna, doing such an awesome job on Bastion. I imagine he's getting ready to do a phenomenal job on Widow as well. And you can see very early, moving to that right side, they're going to be looking for any sort of cheeky little angle, get that early pick, because they know if they manage to get that early pick, it's pretty much game over at that point. You can see the defending team now taking the Bastion Orisa for themselves with that Torbjorn and Baptiste, going heavy bunker. They know this is what they want to run. Both teams understand that bunker is, well, it's hard to displace them. It's one of the hardest comps to displace, but oh my goodness, very, very quickly, that Bastion almost went down, but manages to stay up. Eldog gets a pick on Trash Rodent. However, you can see the Torbjorn going down. Eldog taken out by Kaibit on the Zen, and Kuna manages to snipe out that Torbjorn turret as well. Taking a very similar route here, but the picks are coming in. This time for the attacking team, Reformed is getting picks left, right, and center. That Farah Mercy combination above, just raining damage down. Meanwhile, Trasher on the Sombra doing all sorts of damage. That's it. All said and done. Reformed pulling yet another victory. That brings them to 2-0 for the match and for the day, putting them just one match out of contention for this championship title to be theirs. Played the game, not surprisingly, Kuna on the Bastion. Absolutely just mowing down the enemy. And, well, Kate, I'm not trying to say that chat might be psychic, but chat was calling for this potentially to be, well, they were saying 5-0. I don't know if we're going to get to see many matches behind the third at this rate. But yeah, so far, Reformed looking extremely strong in tonight's matches.
Indeed, they are just, they are super strong tonight. It was just interesting to see, even on a different type of map, how they, just went along with it, did the swaps that they need to. The Mercy Farah combo is just seriously one of the best.
It's a powerful combination. The synergy between those two it's extremely powerful. And I think it's also really important to make note of the difference in the bunker defense from the two teams. What we saw with Reformed was first they were holding that high ground. They rotated to still keep a bit of the high ground. You notice they stayed up on the stairs just a little bit. They held back a little bit further from the point, made the attacking team, Bunny Disaster, push in. And by pushing in, it's never easy to move in, just walk in on a Bastion like that. And they got caught out over and over and over. Whereas the the Bastion placement, the Bastion setup was a little bit different when Bunny Disaster held. And well, I hate to say it didn't quite work out as well, but well, I guess the rest is history, as they say.
Indeed, I think seeing the different setups, it's just cool to see how different teams play the same character and how that plays out on the same map.
Absolutely. And it does go to show that doesn't matter who you are, how good you might think you are on your main character, there's always something to learn. There's always something to get better at. And what's such a phenomenal opportunity when we get to watch teams like this, teams that are playing at a much, much higher skill than most of us get the opportunity to do. You can see that even there's so much to learn, and it can be something as simple, and we've hammered on this in the past so many times. It can be something as simple as, your positioning, you should have been standing a foot to the left. If you had been a foot to the left, you would have avoided this, which would have been less damage, which would have meant your healer could have gone here instead. And this huge snowballing effect that all of a sudden may have won or lost you and your team a match.
I totally agree with positioning. With Reformed, you could see I feel like it was a little tighter positioning. You didn't have people kind of, splitting here and there. I think, their synergy is just really great. And that showed clearly on this last map.
It did. And it was super neat to see. I know, again, seeing a Bastion Torbjorn being pulled out on the same team, same time, and being able to say, yeah, you know what? That makes sense. I actually like that. That is so neat to see in Overwatch right now. I stand by. We're in such a great place right now that so many different compositions, so many different heroes are viable in their own separate way. Sure, some characters are more niche picks than others. Maybe you shouldn't run Attack Torbjorn, or maybe you wouldn't run a defensive Bastion in a situation where they're gonna be running a diva and easily eat it or anything like that. But seeing these different heroes that maybe we haven't seen in a higher tier of competitive play potentially ever before, or at least not since we had 6 Bastions against 6 Mays and things like that, like really, really basic beginning Overwatch. It's wild to see.
No, I love it. I'm a underdog and the underplayed, and I love seeing those heroes that are just a little bit unexpected.
Yeah. Now let me ask you, Kate, if there was any hero that you could see be played tonight, who would that hero be, and why?
I'm just gonna say Soldier 76 because he is my current favorite, and I would love to see him played at a higher level for sure.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. See, my favorite Reinhardt. Reinhardt is definitely who I play. I've gotten to see him already, which is pretty fantastic. I love that. But
for sure.
I actually, what I've really been doing lately, though, for myself, I realized something holding my own game back is I was very stuck on 1 or 2 characters. Whereas now I'm trying to play like all the different tanks, or at least all the different main tanks. I've gotten to see Hammond so far tonight. I've seen a little bit of Winston. I've seen Reinhardt. I've gotten to see all of my main tanks. And who I was going to say that I would love to see, but we got an opportunity to see him. And not only do we see him, but we saw him very successful. And that's my main man, Roadhog. I've been told Roadhog was a throw pick for so long. He's an alt battery charger, give the game to the enemy team. I think people have forgotten that Roadhog is so good at punishing any mistakes from the enemy team.
Anyone out of place.
Exactly.
Hook them. I definitely agree with you. Super underrated. But I would say, something I've been doing recently too is just trying to play all kinds of heroes, jump into that arcade with history heroes, and it's a ton of fun, and just you learn a lot.
And at the end of the day, that's what it's about: having fun, having a good time, and that's, I think, what we're doing. Chat, I hope you guys are having a good time so far tonight, as well as we move ahead again with the Infrasight Arena Championships. So far, we have got Team Reformed ISE up 2-0 over Bunny Disaster. And I hate to say, but it's starting to look a bit like a disaster for that team. But we're going to see if they can turn it around as we're getting ready to move into our next map. I believe it's an escort, and more specifically, it's a Rialto that we're going to be going to next. We'll talk a little bit more again about what an escort map is. Once we get into the match, guys, we're just going to wait for the teams to, of course, be ready. Between these matches, the coaches, the managers like to take a moment, talk with their team, what they liked, what they didn't like, and what needs to change up. Kate, now, if you were the coach or the manager for Bunny Disaster, would you have any last-minute advice, any last-minute words of encouragement for them?
Don't do the same stuff. No, I would say, everything's just unpredictable here. Be unpredictable. I would say pay close attention to your teammates, but communicate a bit better and just surprise Reformed a little bit.
Absolutely. And that's what they're going to need to do here. Absolutely. If they want to have any opportunity of keeping this match going, because they can still come back and win this. Don't forget, if they manage to win the next 3 rounds in a row, back to back to back, they still will win this. It's not over yet. Bunny Disaster and Bunny Disaster fans, keep giving your encouragement. Try and light up chat. Give them that opportunity. Give them that energy to feed off of as we get back into the actual matches. Again, Kate, I'm being yelled at in my ear here, being told, Bloomberg, stop talking. The people want to watch Overwatch. They don't want to watch you. So let's get back into the gameplay, into the action. Now that we are here in lovely Rialto, let's take an opportunity to talk about this type of map, to talk about an escort map and what exactly they're going to be doing. So you can see now already the teams locking in their hero selections. And it looks like, I'm just taking a moment to see, yes, it is going to be Team Bunny Disaster on attack first. Once again, in the red, you can see the blue team is going to be Reformed ISE. They're going to be coming out of that beginning area. You can kind of see there the what looks like, we've got not enough players. Some technical difficulties, it looks like, guys. So, we're pulling back out. We're pulling back out. And are we getting back in? It's hard to say right now. All right, so again, we'll talk about what exactly this assault map means. There's a payload on all assault maps, guys. Basically, the attacking team needs to move the payload through the map, hitting 3 separate checkpoints, which they're going to be doing based on having characters, their team, on the payload, while the defending team is not contesting the payload. Of course, the defending team is going to be trying to stop that at any means necessary. At all costs, they want to try and prevent that payload from moving because, well, the less far rather they manage to push it, the less far that they're going to have to push it on their attack. So you can see they're going to be pushing it through this alley into that first checkpoint. Then they're moving into the second area around this building. You can see now again the defending team starting to move their way out. They got to hit this second checkpoint right about here. There it is. And then each time they hit a checkpoint, they get a little additional time added to the clock as well. And then they're going to be trying to push it, get all the way to this third and final checkpoint where they complete the map. Now, at the end, if both teams manage to complete the map all the way to the finish, any remaining time left in the time bank is what they'll have to push it again and continue getting points. All right. Now, it looks like Reform staying a little further back than we typically see on this map, but that's okay. You can see they're once again going to be running a somewhat of a heavy bunker composition. The Orisa, the Bastion, they do have a Diva there, ready to eat any ultimates coming out from the attacking team. And Frosty getting a very early pick on Wivsniv, the Genji, and that's gonna slow down this early attack for sure.
It's really interesting to see how far back they were set up and how this will kind of play out.
But you know what? You talk about being unpredictable, and this is actually being unpredictable. By playing a little further back, you lead the attacking team into a false sense of security, and they're also making sure that they're not getting flanked on that left side either. They have the shield up in front of it. And you can see, though, that being said, the Team Red, Bunny Disaster, they are managing to get a lot of movement on that payload, despite Frosty getting some picks here. Kuna gets one as well. And it looks like they're going to try and stabilize it there. Ooh, Kuna pulling a Deadeye out from behind. Manages to pick both the Sombra and Lucio. Now you can see Wibsniff trying to get away, but unsuccessful. Gets picked, and it's going to be a regroup one more time. And Bunny Disaster is going to have to figure out some sort of way to break through this ironclad defense. Very quick eat from the Diva onto that Moira orb. Always a good idea. You just want to make sure that Moira orb doesn't get in, overwhelm your healers early on, and make you start the fight at a disadvantage. You can see L-Dog trying to do something sneaky as the Sombra. Has to back out very quickly, though, as Trash Rodent sees him there. And they're trying to run that Genji, but and there you can see Kaibit actually manages getting the last pick on the Genji. Diva gets hacked by Sombra, but not going to be enough to do anything. Couple of picks going in the direction now of Bunny Disaster, which is absolutely fantastic, but the ults are coming out. The res is up, and Frosty takes out Winston. They're trying to take advantage of that Baptiste ult once again. Nicely done, and it looks like the picks are going to be going more in the favor of Reformed, who's managing to hold on again. You can see they tried to use that Diva Bomb, and they did. Oh, there. they managed to take out, I believe, what was that even? That was just the lamp. That was it, or the immortality field. And now you can see they are once again sitting back, waiting. Bunny Disaster needs to try and get some sort of group up here, and they need to get that first pick. They need to figure out a way to displace Frosty and the Phantom on that Orisa Bastion combination that's been so deadly so far this fight. And with only 60 seconds remaining, the full group up looks like they're all there. They're just waiting for that, and there it is. The Rhine Shield's out. Moving forward, the EMP, a massive EMP, manages to get pretty much the whole team, and that might be enough. You can see they're getting picks. There comes the Diva Bomb. The McCree ult's out as well. Kuna manages to take out two. Kaibit taking out the Reinhardt, and oh my goodness, but Frosty using that Bastion ult and finishes up one more time. Everything cleared up, and Reformed manages to hold with only 22 seconds left and ult advantage in their favor.
I mean, that was still a huge play, though, with that hack.
It was a beautiful hack. It was absolutely pitch perfect, but again, unbelievable by Reform to manage to pull out, minimize the amount of damage while their entire team was hacked, and still pull off a victory in that fight. And you can see early picks as this engagement begins. 2 going in the direction, now 3 actually going in the direction of Reformed. Couple of picks going back, though, for Bunny Disaster. This might be their opportunity. It's got to be their opportunity. They're in the overtime, but that's going to be it. Said and done. You can see how far that payload managed to move just before the first checkpoint. And, well, they don't manage to get an actual point on the board, Kate. But that being said, if Reform can't push the payload that far, that will still put the map in Bunny Disaster's favor. I'm feeling that Reform, though, I got to be honest, Kate, with the amount that they have done so far tonight and how well they've played, I'm thinking that defense has to be exactly what they were looking for, and that this should be a 3-0 victory going in Reform's favor.
I would say so as well. I have to say, after watching that, it really showcased Reform's ability to save their ults until the perfect time. I think that's how they got through that incredible hack play. Yeah, no, definitely very, very smart with the ult economy. They have been, I mean, for lack of better words, they have just been vicious this entire evening. They have given Bunny Disaster no openings, no opportunities. And Reformed has been saying, well, hey, we're going to win this one. And we want to make sure we win this one quickly, defiantly. And they've been doing one heck of a job putting on a great show so far. Again,
Bunny Disaster is not a weak team. This is a team that has been very, very good in the past. They managed to make it this far, which shows you that alone in this league, the Overwatch Infrasight Arena, to get that far, you can't be bad. You have to be very, very good. And right now, Reformed is playing them like it's a bunch of top 500s against some bronze players. And as the first engagement begins, we can see no picture. Oh, there we go. L-Dog on the Hanzo manages to take Kuna out. That's a great first pick. However, Tid does get the res back to bring Kuna into that fight. Reinhardt getting a little overextended, and there you go. Aizen taken out. That Rein pick is going to be massive. L-Dog gets picked on Kuna again, and Frosty swapping that out for Tad, taking that Lucio out. Now you can see Genji, Trash Ruin, just working in that back line, doing all sorts of things, causing great damage. They're trying to back out. They want to try and get their team back there. They want their main tank before they try and engage again. You can see Aizen's back up there, but this is going to be their one last opportunity to contest. This is going to be basically it. Now you can see Valkyrie getting popped out from Ska very quickly. Aizen takes Trash Rodent out. That's going to be helpful. That's going to be massive. Aizen missing with the charge, though, back onto the payload. And it looks like, oh, Phantom manages to take out the Lucio. And it looks like, though, that's enough that Reform knows that we're going to back out of this one. We got 3 meters to go, 3 meters left to push. We might as well get our team back together. We've got 2.5 minutes to do this. Lots and lots of opportunities to push. And they really just need to win one more team fight at this point, Kate.
Yeah, it looks like they have a few ults ready to go.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can see that early pick. Kuna manages to take a whip out, but then L-Dog responds very quickly. Res, though. And Kuna, gets Ska as well. The Mercy. That's a pick that you're going to wish didn't happen if you're on Team Bunny Disaster. Without the Mercy, this is going to be very, very difficult. And you can see Trash Rodent taking out the Rhine. That's it. Reformed with a 3-0 victory tonight. Very, very strong again. Now, this does mean officially, everyone in chat, Reformed ISE becomes the Overwatch Infrasight Arena Champions. Bunny Disaster putting a strong effort forward, but coming in second this in their inaugural season. Kate, we saw what we're gonna, again, we've said it a few times, so I hate to say it, it was dominant gameplay. Was there anything along the way there that maybe we could have saw Bunny Disaster do a little bit differently, maybe a little bit better, that could have made it a little bit closer?
I'm honestly not sure. Sometimes I felt like, their use of ults was a little bit just not as synergistic as Armed. I think they always came in at like right time, and I'm not sure, my friend.
It's true. There wasn't necessarily one thing that needed to change. There was a lot of little things, I think, along the way. And at the end of the day, listen, one team's going to win, one team's going to lose. There's no way to avoid that. Whether it was the jitters, whether it was one of 700 other things, who knows along the way. But the point is, we've got new champions, and that's Reformed ISE. They did an absolutely insane job. I don't believe that we're going to have to run either the 4th or 5th maps tonight, because this is the championship. Normally, in the past, when we've been doing either scrims, we tend to run those extra matches, or often when we're doing different league matches, we do run at least the 4, even in these situations, because they're fighting for map points, and map differentials can make a huge difference in their standings and where they place and things like that. But tonight, after tonight, well, they're starting all brand new again. It's wipe the slate clean, shake the Etch-a-Sketch, and you start all at the beginning. So this does mean that Reformed will be the team to beat in Season 2, though.
Yeah, and what a team to beat. I feel like right now they have just great team synergy, and I'm excited to see what they do in the future, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. A few major players came in there as well. Now, and I know we have the opportunity, or at least we've been told we have the opportunity to get a couple of interviews tonight that, Kate, I believe you're going to be running for us.
I will be.
That's exciting. It means I get to just stand here and look pretty, which is pretty exciting for me. You know, hey,
Hey,
there's
you're good
always
at
one
that.
thing I can do, right?
Yeah.
Now, really quickly, we didn't get a chance because we ran through this so quickly. We didn't get a chance to talk about something that I wanted to bring up, and it's something that it has very little to do with this, but I just wanted to bring up very quickly, guys, and I'm looking to get the official what it was called. But the Overwatch workshop mode in the PTR right now,
Yes.
we're going to be seeing so many things coming out of the pipeworks. It's an exciting time to be involved in Overwatch. So before we jump into those interviews, I'm just going to say one last time, if you are somebody who would be interested in being involved in this, whether you're a player, a coach, a manager, anything in between, hey, you want to be the team's water boy, we'd love to have you involved in our community. Guys, you just need to join the Wasted Potential Discord. Again, a mod should be spamming that in the chat for you. If they're not, you harass me and I'll be making sure to answer any of your questions after this as well. But join in, get in touch with Werp, and from there, very easy, very simple, get you and your team involved. Get yourself shown on the big screen and have an opportunity to prove yourself in the proving grounds. Now, I do believe we have our first interview ready. Is that correct? We've got, yes, it's Rozzy here on the line. And Frozzy, sorry. A little static in my mic there. I'll let Kate take it away.
All right. Hey, Frosty, how you doing?
I'm doing good, thank you. How are you?
Great. How do you feel after the games?
Pretty happy with the abilities of our team to work together there. Like, we worked fine. It was like we stayed focused, maintained a thought, and we was just doing what we do, and we just stayed focused.
Yeah, so what out of all the heroes that you played tonight, who was your favorite?
Probably Torb.
Awesome. And why? Like, what do you love about Tor?
He just has like so much different like mechanics to him. Like, you have the turret you can throw around, and you can put in sneaky spots for like a flank attack or like a crossfire, and you also have his abilities, so like you can molten core, and you have his like overload where you can just rush in, do so much damage, and create a lot of attention.
No, that's awesome. I've actually never played Tor before, but I always know when I'm going up against one, I regret it. um, but so I noticed tonight your team played with just a lot of synergy and just played really well together. How did your team form?
Uh, it was just a long journey of just working hard and practices and scrimmings and like flowing out everything that we needed to work on and improve, and just come together on terms of like what comps we should run and just keep working on that core.
That's awesome. You guys did a great job. Super awesome teamwork. Have you looked into the Overwatch workshop that we'd mentioned before?
I haven't. I've seen like streams of it though. Like, it looks really fun.
Cool. I'm definitely looking forward to it. Seen some cool stuff in there. But yeah, like it tonight. Was there any specific moment for you that just really stood out for you? Was there a specific play that just like made your night?
Uh, just the team working together is always what you want, and that's just always the highlight. If it works well, and it just goes down the same aisle.
That's that's awesome. Like it was really great to watch. As far as your like personal journey in Overwatch, what got you into competitive play?
Just it's a whole different style of what I'm used to. I used to just play like smaller games, like Halo Wars, like strategy games, Halo Wars, Stronghold, and all that. And then I watched like Counter Strike competitive, and that seemed fun. I tried that for a while, and then Overwatch came out, and ever since Overwatch came out, it's just been so much fun playing it.
Awesome. Well, we were so glad to host you tonight, and congratulations on the win. I hope you have an awesome. I guess are you guys taking a break? Is that how you guys? Does your team take a break now at this point? Where do you go from here? Are you going to Disney
No.
World?
I hope. Nah. I don't know what's up next for us. Just a lot of things, opportunities for us now, and just got to see what the road takes us down.
Awesome. Well, congratulations again, Frosty.
Thank you.
All right. And well, that was Frosty coming off of a very triumphant victory today, Kate. So from there, I believe I'm trying to figure out who it is we have coming in next. And that's Kaibit. Kaibit, yes. So I believe, do we have Kaibit on the line yet? Not yet. Okay, no problem at all. I'm sure Kaibit will be here in just a moment. So again, Kaibit coming from Reformed after a triumphant victory. I'm sure they're currently popping open the champagne in the dressing room with the rest of the
Feeling
team.
good.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's the thing. Again, after these matches, even though they of course are excited to talk with well, tonight I was gonna say with me, but no, with you. No one really wants to talk to me, but they of course have to so often go over things right away, fresh. And anyone who of course is a team coach or manager who has ever been part of a competitive team knows how important these moments after the match are. And to revel in the victory, but to also be aware of what needs to still be improved upon. Because as we heard from another gentleman in another competitive match one time, even after a triumphant 5-0 victory, they still had a lot to work on. So that is always the way, and the way that we want everybody in Overwatch to be feeling in this competitive environment. There's always room for improvement. It's not, oh man, if only my team was better. It's what could I have done? What could I have done to have made this match go a little bit better, a little bit smoother? Maybe we even stopped them from pushing it all the way almost to that first point. Maybe I could have stopped them at that first choke along the way.
Yeah, I think it's super important to go over, games while it's fresh, because so much happens in each game. So
absolutely
it's important to.
Absolutely, and it sounds like we may have just gotten Kaibit in here as well. So I'll leave it back to you again, Kate.
All right. Hey, Kaibit.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. So how are you feeling after your big wins, but win overall?
I feel great. It was fun playing in the final match. It was also nice to get a few wins under our belt because we had a few rough scrims coming into this match, so it was good to have some good teamwork.
No, that's great. I mean, those scrims definitely paid off for sure. So how do you feel you personally did tonight? What are some things maybe that you are looking to improve in the future?
I'm looking to improve on some of my characters. As you saw, I tried to play some Baptiste in some of our bunker comps. I look forward to learning that character a little bit more because he is very, very strong character.
He definitely is, and he's a super new character too, so there's always that sort of time period where you kind of have to see where a new character fits and how it works with your team. I personally haven't played much Baptiste, but like, what is your favorite thing about Baptiste? Like, what attracts you to playing that character?
I like Baptiste a lot because he's kind of got an Ana feel, which I play a lot of Ana, but
Awesome.
one of the highlights about Baptiste is he has that vertical leap, which can get him out of sticky situations that Ana doesn't necessarily have.
Yeah, I also love playing Ana, but sometimes I wish she just had more movement abilities.
Yeah.
But no, I do agree with you. I think like Baptiste is a really cool, just like hybrid of a few things. But yeah, so what are your plans after this? You guys have won the championship. Where are you going in your, what are your dreams one day in Overwatch?
I think after this, Frosty and I are gonna get into competitive and grind away up to Masters.
Awesome.
And yeah, really looking forward to the competitive rank scene again. So.
Oh, that's super exciting, especially with a fellow team. I wish you guys the best of luck. So, as far as Overwatch, we talked to Frosty a little bit about it. What brought you into the game, and what interests you about the competitive scene? Like what powers you?
So I first saw Overwatch about 3 years ago. I saw it released at BlizzCon or announced at BlizzCon, and it looked really interesting to play. So then I started playing about 3 years ago, and then Overwatch League and the World Cup became a big thing. And as soon as I saw that, I wanted to try my luck at the competitive scene in Overwatch. So
That's awesome. Have you played any other games competitively? Like, has that always been your thing with video games?
I have not. This is actually the first game that I've played competitively. So
Oh, that's exciting. I was at that BlizzCon too, and that was a super awesome announcement.
yeah.
But I think the most recent announcement with the workshop, I'm super excited about. I asked Frosty about it. What have you checked it out yet?
I have not checked it out, but it seems a lot of fun. I'm sure I can manage to do a lot of cool things with it with my background in computer science. So hopefully I can
That's
make some
super
cool game
cool.
modes.
Yeah, I look forward to that. I know that I think the community as just in large will be looking for just some really interesting different stuff, and hopefully Blizzard will be keeping an eye out too on what people get up to. So do you have any like favorite moment of your games tonight?
I definitely enjoyed running triple with my team today, triple DPS. We tend to run that a lot, but it was
Okay.
good because we had a well-oiled machine with that comp, so it was fun playing with them.
For sure. You guys did great tonight. Tell the work that you guys put into it. But thanks for chatting with me, and congratulations again on your big win, my friend.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. Have a good one.
Absolutely awesome to hear from these players and the plans that they're going to be moving ahead with as well, Kate. Really, really neat to hear what they want to do, where they want to go with Overwatch, and I guess just like we said, well, what you said, the next steps.
Next steps for sure. I feel like, this kind of play opens up so many doors.
It does indeed, and not only does it do it in Overwatch, but for some of these younger players, whether it's Overwatch, whether it's whatever the next big game is, it gives them a viewpoint into this competitive scene, the competitive esports scene that is just growing so rapidly right now, especially over in North America. Here, we are seeing an absolute boom of just different games and different leagues and all sorts of things that they can get involved with, and it's just so neat to see, because I always say I wish if I could just be born 20 years younger. That I like, these are my people, these are my years.
Yes.
So now I'm too old and slow to
Now
keep
we're
up with
too
them
old,
though.
so we're
Never too old. Never.
That's why we cast instead.
Yeah. But I'm having a great time with it, so I am glad we are the old folks here.
Exactly. Now I believe it is Tad that we've got next here
Yes.
for you, and that's with Team Bunny Disaster. Kate, take it away.
All right. Hey, Tad. Do I call you Tad?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Awesome. Well, my name is pronounced Tig, but I don't blame you for getting it wrong because it is
Okay.
a terrible name for an international audience.
You said Tig?
Tig, yeah.
Tig. Awesome. So where does that, I'm just going to throw it out there, where does that name come from? Where did it come from?
So the name Tig is Irish Gaelic. I live in the far west of Ireland, so out here we speak Irish instead of English.
Ah, yes, the extra letters in there.
Yeah, so actually, good luck. My Irish pronunciation is terrible, and if anybody heard me speaking it, I'd be deeply embarrassed, so maybe not.
No, I mean, I'd enjoy it. But so how do you feel you personally did tonight?
Yeah, I feel all right about the experience. I think we went in there and we weren't really sure what we were getting into. There was a pretty big SR gulf between our two teams. I mean, we clock in at around a 2.2k SR average, whereas I believe ISE clocks in at around 3.1k. On top of that, we were also on EU, which meant we had a pretty high ping, and we're not too upset about that. I'm getting comments from my friends telling me that I should spoil Endgame in the interview, and I'm not going to do so. But thanks, Jason.
I would walk to Ireland right now and pull the mic out.
There's a C in the way, so if you manage to do that, that would be incredible. If you can walk fast enough, to cross the ocean, please contact the
I'll
scientist.
just pop Valk. I play Mercy a lot. So that'll work,
IRL
right?
pop Valk. Hit that
IRL
Q
Mercy.
button. IRL. But yeah, no, I feel like our reflections after the match, we're feeling a little bit tilted, but that's just kind of how it is. We play more to have fun and to learn than we do to win. We're not a very high SR team. And, we were asked to join the Infrasight Arena, so we did. And we've had a really good time so far. And I'd also like to say that ISE played really admirably, and they were a tough opponent, and it's better to play a tough opponent than to get an easy game,
Yeah, no, totally agree. That is definitely some good sportsmanship there. But so is your entire team like EU based? Are a lot of those ping thing like do you deal with a lot of those kinds of challenges as far as like time zones and ping things like that?
Yeah, time zones can be a real difficulty. I mean, we have people ranging across the Eurasian continent. So while we have myself in as far west as you can go in Europe, I live out in Connemara in Ireland. It's the westernmost point in the continent. We also have people who practically live in kind of East Asia. We have people living kind of close enough to India, so Pakistan, Afghanistan, those areas. That means we do have a lot of difficulties with timetabling sometimes. So we have not many members, but we have to have a very fluid roster. I mean, for me right now, it's about 1:30 in the morning. And I had work today and all of that. So it can be a difficulty timetabling things, but we do our best just to be flexible. We really enjoy playing with one another. One of our best friends kind of on the team who plays with us is actually an American. I believe she's in Twitch chat right now. Her name is Sandpiper, and she is one of the loveliest people on the planet. So we're all happy to stay up a bit late to play with her,
I think it's great that just the internet in general allows us to do these kinds of things and make these connections with people across the world. And it's great that you guys have come together. How did Bunny Disaster find its members with such a wide divide in continents and times?
Well, it's an interesting story, actually. I was playing Overwatch, and I really enjoy Overwatch. It reminds me of games I used to play quite a lot when I was younger, and I'm normally not one for shooters, but I played Overwatch with my friends. I loved Overwatch, but I got really tired of solo queuing, so I looked online, and I found a community called Underwatch 2K for, low SR players. And then I happened to perform pretty well inside said community, and I was contacted by Koss, or Bad Rabbit, who is the guy who put together our team, who said, we're looking to put together a series of teammates and hopefully assemble something like a team. And I said, absolutely. I love playing with a consistent 6 people. It is so much more fun to play Overwatch when you can kind of get to know a team and improve together, rather than solo queue or queue, duo, trio, quad. So I got really quite addicted to the process of playing as a team. And that's, I think, what gels us all together. So we all came together through Underwatch 2K, and now we just play whenever we get the chance.
That's so great. That's such a cool story about how you guys came together, and I look forward to seeing what you guys do in the future. But thank you so much for jumping on to interview with me, and I hope you have a good sleep. It's late for you.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having us on, and I'd like to reiterate once again, congratulations to ISE, and I hope everybody at least had an all right time watching.
Yes. Thank you so much again.
Good night, guys. Bye.
Bye.
What a class act. Holy smokes, eh? That is great sportsmanship, complimenting his opponents, doesn't want to spoil things. I personally know that interview alone just made me go, I can't wait to hear what Bunny Disaster's doing next. And I want to watch it. I want to see it. I want to know what they're up to, because that's the sort of team I want to support. Plain and simple. That's how I look at it.
Same. I loved their story. It was so interesting they got together.
Yeah, really, really very cool. Very cool. Now, I do believe we have one more interview as well tonight, Kate.
We do.
Which is all sorts of exciting. Now, who the last interview is with, I believe you probably have that. I don't. So That's
I
with the.
believe it is. I think it's with Sniv in the game, but it's Vivi.
Yes, you're 100% right.
It's actually Bakari, but yeah, it's
Oh,
fine.
I was
Don't
just
worry.
guessing based on the name.
That's all right, not to worry. Yeah, I'm.
All right. So you played Bakari.
I do, yes.
Okay, great. How do you feel about how your team?
Honestly, I feel like the team overall, we gave it our best shot, you know, like considering the massive gap in SR, we really gave it our all, and there's not really much else we could do. We had good coordination. There were times we probably could have spent a little bit less time figuring out what characters we needed, but it was just in the heat of the moment, and that's definitely something we can work on in the future.
Okay, that
Yeah.
makes sense. The character switching and stuff like that, having some context really does sort of flesh out the story of your games tonight. What what was your favorite hero to play on tonight?
I mean, Diva's definitely my strongest character. Usually I'm quite good at doing some insane Diva bombs. So also if you want to see my Twitch, it's Twitch Vivelheim. So
Cool.
you can sometimes check that out, and I'm usually very good, but as we were playing against like mid diamond overall, it was a lot more difficult. Overall, I've never been in diamond elo. Yeah, I don't know what else to say really.
Yeah, I think Diva's a super fun character.
Oh,
What
she's a great support.
she's great. Do you play any other support character,
Um,
or do you mainly
well,
stick to her?
I do. I usually I touch on Ryan every now and again. Diva's my
Okay.
main, but I do play more on the healing side too. So I will play Moira, Zenyatta, Anna sometimes.
That's great. So what got you into Overwatch? How long have you been playing?
I've been playing about 4 months now, so I'm not too new to the game, but at the same time, I do still need to learn a little bit more. I do admit that. But as I say, it was just the whole game overall today was a learning experience, you know, like, okay, we're playing against people who are at a much higher elo, so the only thing we can do now is just go on from there and see what the future brings for Bunny Disaster.
Yeah, I mean, you said you've been playing 4 months, and you're already in these competitive games. That's pretty great.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
That's super cool. So you guys came from Underwatch. You can kind of watch. I think that is just the neatest backstory that you guys come from just all different parts of the world. Um, but what do you want to do from here? Where do you see yourself in Overwatch? Because it sounds like
Um,
you haven't been playing that long compared to some others. What is
right,
your
right.
goal?
I mean, overall, I would like to continue climbing. So by the end, I'm hoping to work my way into masters at the moment. It's going to
That's
take a little
great.
bit more time, a little bit more understanding the other characters, better strategies, but I'm definitely positive I'll get there sooner or later. And as well, like, that's why Bunny Disaster as a whole has been a massive support. We are more or less like family, and yeah, we have a really strong bond, and over time we have managed to communicate more. We're progressing, we're developing, and I have really high hopes for us.
That's great. I think that that is something that really forms a super strong team when, you have that support of each other, when you're able to kind of communicate beyond the game. I think that's awesome. I am so rooting for you guys.
Oh, thank you, appreciate that.
Well, thank you so much for chatting with us today and for letting us watch you guys play.
Yeah, no problem, thank you for having us.
Yeah, have a great one.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
Absolutely awesome games tonight. On top of that, we had some phenomenal interviews. Kate, great job with all of that. And thank you so much to everybody who's joined us tonight. Everyone supporting both teams and supporting the broadcast that we're putting on here, the Proving Grounds Arena. Again, we're so honored to have you guys here. And one more time, I'm going to throw it out there. If you are someone who might be interested in being involved in this, whether it's as a player, a coach, or on a team, you want to join a team, you just want to support the players, whatever the case may be, we want to bring you in. Just join into the Wasted Potential Discord. It's very easy, very simple, and one of the mods is going to be spamming that in the channel for you right this moment. Join in. If there's something specific you want to do, like get onto a team or register your team, maybe you're already on one, get in touch with a gentleman named Werp. He would love to get you guys set up in the right direction, get you going. And with that, I guess we also should take the opportunity to thank all the people behind the scenes.
Yes.
We've got people working hard on all the graphic work we see, everything you see around us. We've got people in the back that are working the cameras and doing all sorts of things like that. And I also want to take a quick moment to thank you, Kate, my co-caster tonight. We can get a quick shout out in chat, ! Kate for me, one of the mods, please and thank you. Guys, Kate, another amazing streamer and a great job tonight as a co-caster as well. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Bloomer. No, I had a great time tonight. Thank you guys for having me on, and I had a great time.
I'm very happy to hear that. With that, we are going to be leaving you here, guys. Again, big congratulations to both teams, but specifically to Reformed ISE for coming out and winning, getting that big championship match, won Infrasight Arena Champions. Something for them to, they have to try and live up to that again next season. Of course, Bunny Disaster is going to be coming for that title. A little more knowledgeable, a little more experienced, a little more tried and practiced in this competitive scene. And I could see them being a team to watch in the near future.
Totally agree. I cannot wait to see what both of these teams get up to.
100%. Chat, with that, thank you again for being here. Be good to yourself. Be good to each other. Keep your stick on the ice. And hey, we'll see you next time. See you later.
Bye.